little bit of redemption this time.
Baby, I love me some Volskaya. It's by far one of my most favorite maps to play on myself and also to observe and cast as a commentator. So let's see what the teams have in store. A variety of heroes can actually do very well here. I'm still hoping to see a little bit of Voodoo, a little bit of Bra here with my Nazeebo. It's definitely one of his stronger maps, but of course it's not really been transitioning over to China. We've seen it in Korea, we've seen it in other regions, but in China we have yet to wait for the first appearance of the Witch Doctor.
The Alarak is removed here. Very interesting. The A team, I believe it's usually a BTG pick, but I do believe they have played the Alarak at least once in the previous season.
Alarak, yeah. He's normally been picked by Beyond the Game a lot, but I can't recall A team really relying on it.
Yeah, I just went back in time, and no, they have not. That's weird.
Maybe they have some inside information, you know, from scrims. Maybe the A-team is just a very experimenting team at the moment, trying out different assassins.
They have played him in the past once.
Okay.
Back with their very original roster with Uncle G, while Uncle G was on the team, and they lost.
Yep, that was a little rough. Awesome picture here, by the way, on Whitemane with that throne in the background instead of just the hero profile. Super cool.
Oh, yeah, that's very cool.
Pick rate, of course, means 100%, guys. That means involvement rate, right? Whether she was picked or banned, she was basically part of every single draft up to this point. And Tetra and I, we've cast quite a bunch of games of China already over the last few days.
And we have. I can't be able to do the maths right now of how many games we've cast, but yeah, she has been involved in pretty much everything. We saw Diablo on this thing earlier, and even he, who is in almost every single draft, only had an 83% involvement rate.
This is game 14, if my math doesn't cheat on me. Last day, we had 6 games per day.
Stand.
Here we go. All right, Thrall makes his first showing in HGC China today. Looking forward to that already, especially since it's Volskaya, right? And Chinese teams, they still have this tendency to go for Crash Lightning because you have so much skirmishing, so much brawling around these capture platforms.
We haven't seen it in a while, though, so I doubt we'll see it this time, but I guess if there's any hero to do it with, it might be Whitemane. But the problem is nice skin on the Stukov, by the way. But if there's the fact is the Echo of the Elements actually just gives more damage output while also keeping you a lot safer in lane. It's very much long-term fights or like immediate burst you would go for the Crash Lightning with, whereas the Echo of the Elements actually just gives you more consistent damage. But burst against this team might actually be viable with that Stukov on the board. Cassia comes in again.
Yep, DSL is back on his baby girl Cassia. Now, against the Reynor, of course, that works like a charm, and you can really see how the A-team were kind of, you know, put in between a rock and a hard place. So, do we ban the Cassia now, or do we ban the Sergeant Hammer? Well, we just lost to the Sergeant Hammer, couldn't really do a whole lot against it, so let's just put our hopes into the Sergeant Hammer ban. They could have maybe also gone for the double ranged assassin ban with Cassia as well, but yeah, maybe that would have been too much of an overcommitment.
So Zeratul comes in, some burst damage to try and eliminate those backline heroes, and also potential for the VP APOC combo is now available for the A-team. A very classic wombo combo, and very good against Cassia, because if she can't move, she gets no armor, and then she dies.
True. Yeah, a lockdown against Cassia is, of course, the name of the game, and with a VP setup and some CC follow-up, that might be the key to really winning those team fights. Look at RPG, though. They're having a good time here, MJ. You know, we just gave him a lot of credit on that Alex Strasser. Let's see if he can repeat that good performance on Volskaya Foundry.
He's going to have to put on quite the show. Volskaya Foundry is a little bit more of a difficult map. Thrall is fantastic on this map. We will say that much, because he has really good sustain via poke. There's very few heroes that sustain via their own poke potential. He just wrecks with it, and of course, he synergizes so well with that Phoenix. They have a little wombo combo of their own, so they might be able to get some great executions onto the A-team here. And they have Johanna, who protects that double backline.
All right, Johanna protecting the double backline, protecting DSL and his buddies in crime. Let's see if they can actually pull it off. A 2-0 in favor of RPG would be huge. It would basically give them a 2-point advantage, a 3-point advantage, in my excuses, over A-team, who's a straight-up rival and competitor. You see Jaina, Olele, Bruiser, and Stugov, and Itzcook on the side of the A-team.
And on the side of RPG, it is Free Show, MJ, Par, C, and DSL. We're going to be seeing another Q build coming in for Whitemane. Very interesting in the fact that during the Open Division yesterday, we saw about 4 Whitemanes, and every single one of them went for an Inquisition build.
Yeah, Inquisition build. I was actually watching one of those games, Tetcher. You know, was very insightful to see some of the European players try out a different route. But in China, it still seems like Q build is the way to go. If you had to compare these two builds, like what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages of the respective builds? When would you pick the Inquisition build and when the Q build?
The Inquisition build is very good against a composition that groups up because you're going to have the potential for the double roots later on, and it gives you good out of fight healing. So it's good for shorter, more grouped up fights, whereas the Q build is better for pretty much everything else. It's much better for more sustained fights and better against burst compositions.
Yeah, of course, the downside and the reason why so many players outside of China are usually going for the Inquisition build is because it was nerfed several times now. The challenge not being as efficient anymore. But here we see the healing, especially when that E ability of Whitemane hits several enemies, then it's going to be a massive splash of healing onto the targets currently benefiting off her trade, and that is why DSL walks away with almost full HP.
Free Show taking a long rotation up to top lane as Diablo was already trying to pressure. We already see this camp being started. An item camp being taken very early by RPG means they can, in theory, put a little bit of pressure on the enemy one. Bruiser is here, and the shield's already down. Par sees it. Reinforcements, please, but there's already a biotic emitter camp being fought over, so the camp is stolen away. But can they win the biotic emitter camp? Otherwise, RPG are going to be in some serious trouble. It's Cook is going to get taken down, but Zeratul and Phoenix are both on the way up. Phoenix once again being harassed by Par. The biotic emitter was stolen away and immediately just dropped, so RPG, they get the double loot, maybe even the triple kill, that they get away losing Phoenix and with no items.
Yeah, the healing pulse was actually used by the A-team already. They realized, you know what, after that mercenary steal, we are looking like we're in a sticky situation, right? So they, instead of dropping it to the enemy team or losing it altogether, they used it right at the get-go. But even that was not enough to stop the onslaught. So a very chaotic early game in this game on Volskaya. So we saw Phoenix, by the way, getting taken out by his StarCraft 2 friend, Zeratul. And RPG, although winning the team fight, losing the objective overall, and losing a hero. So 2 for 1. Very, very even trades.
He's good, cleans mid lane a little bit himself. But that is absolutely awesome that the A-team were able to deny RPG any items before this objective, and they're going to have double turrets. They're even ahead of it in XP because of that. This is not bad for the A-team at all. RPG immediately soaking and grabbing mercenaries as best they can because they know they're actually starting off this game a little bit behind. And against a Zeratul team, that's always a risk.
Yeah, the more, the more of an advantage Zeratul has in terms of stats. Zeratul is one of those heroes that really banks on those. The more damage he's going to be able to deliver. DSL, by the way, playing the tank role once again, but as long as he keeps on moving on that Cassia, he should be fine. Diablo taking so much damage. No, Zeratul in a pinch as well. And they can focus down that first turret without really losing much Tetcher.
That's good news for RPG. Free Show, though, took a little bit of damage. Remember, he has all that sustain. Bruiser, though, taken out by Johanna. And that damage from Cassia really set that up. RPG, despite having 0 items, still goes maybe waiting a little bit too long to throw down that second turret.
Nobody got time to farm for those turrets when you can just power through them, you know, by getting good engages, by getting good focus fire off. Once again, with DSL actually landing all the abilities onto the blinded targets. So cool to see that. Also, the synergy between Johanna and Cassia. They have 2 blind sources now available, and that can really make heroes like Cassia shine.
The roll's just sitting there on the point, just like, oh, fortification camps? You mean Frostwolf Resilience stacks, as he's able to also finish his Echo of the Elements. Par is about to get some very severe deja vu and stun. Easiest kill of their lives as the A-team picked that up.
I think maybe Phoenix could have tried to walk a little bit more because that jet propulsion was pretty much a guaranteed one. So yeah, good pickup here by A-team, and now the rest of RPG needs to be very careful. They're fighting an uphill battle here, currently down 1 member, and they have time, right? They already brought the channel timer up to 99%, and now, only now, will A-team start their own channel. So they have a little bit of time to depush all the lanes, to soak a little bit, and most importantly, get Thrall into that 5 versus fight in the middle.
Yeah, and everyone's going to be alive with Phoenix on the way back, so it is potentially going to be a 5 versus 5. But Thrall has already been dropped down to half health by Zeratul, who is putting on quite the show today, as we see Jaina putting some pressure onto DSL. Diablo dives on him, in fact, double stun, but quick heals from the white main allows him to turn this round. Thrall begins to channel. Bruiser needs to get shoot off that point.
Tetcher, the damage and most importantly the self-sustain on DSL are absolutely real right now. He went for Ring of the Leech right at level 4, combined that with the healing provided by MJ on that white main, and she becomes an absolute bulwark. It's going to be so hard to take her down. They tried several times now with Diablo's lockdown and the follow-up silence by Stukov, but it just isn't enough up to this point.
Here comes the Protector into top lane. Yeetskook stands in a brave position, but he's going to get the free damage. Looks like they're going to maybe try and kill off Blaze here, but Pyromania is active, Jaina will be fine, and Pa is able to escape. And now there's 4 people just battering away at this Protector, and this is all just a distraction for these two in the bot lane. My main, well known for her push potential, not going to be able to do too much here.
Yeah, not really getting a whole lot done here. The Protector says, you know what, you puny humans, I'm not scared of you. I'm not even scared of that one demon there. But yeah, the bottom lane we see Zeratul desperately trying to hold that tower against the double onslaught by Cassia and Whitemane, who seem to be enjoying themselves quite a bit here. Phoenix, Pop for the first time in this game, he was actually able to escape a gank. So while they weren't able to pull ahead in experience because of A-Team's strong early game, they're finally catching up a little bit, RPG that is. So the game is still dead even. Structural advantage, though, slightly in the hands of RPG.
We didn't talk about it yet, but by the way, we do see Phoenix going for Energy Protocol. So while he has when his shield gets depleted, he gains 25% movement speed, which is what is allowing him to disengage from a lot of these, because if Zeratul engages him and while he still has any shield remaining, he's able to get that quick speed boost the second the shield disappears to give him an escape route. Valkyrie coming in, by the way.
Ooh, Valkyrie coming in here, maybe against the Rainer, maybe against the Stukov. The moment Stukov stands still to cast his Lurking Arm, he is the perfect match for the Valkyrie, so that might be the reasoning why they ended up picking it. But yeah, as you said, you gotta be adaptive, you gotta be evolving, and sometimes when the situation requires it, you're gonna go for that movement speed at level 4 for Phoenix, especially when they have chasing heroes like the Blaze, like a Diablo, or even a Zeratul, which is probably the main target why he picked it. Uh-oh.
Jaina gets bunkered out, but can they block him in? Yes, they can. They burn the biotic emitter. Blaze dropping it so that the RPG do not pick it up themselves.
So sick here. Normally you would think Blaze, not the best of targets to set up a gank for because of his bunker, because of the jab propulsion. But if you lock him down, if you catch him mid-air with that Valkyrie and then surround him so he doesn't have any more escape routes after the bunker, you're going to get that item forced out pretty handsomely.
They even pick up a fort using that positioning advantage they have. Diablo is hovering around the side, but no one's in position to follow up. Pa is 1v1ing Bruiser, who runs into the difficulty of fighting on a conveyor belt and has to wormhole out of there.
And a good thing the Healing Fountain was there as well to keep Phoenix a little safer at this point. And if it already was kind of hard for the A-Team to kill anyone, it's only going to get harder right now because of these Scarlet Ages. Now, look at Bruiser trying to escape out of that. But yeah, Scarlet Aegis, man, it's going to be so good. The healing, the armor, 40 armor against the burst damage, especially after a Void Prison, I think. That could really be a game swinger.
It's going to be pretty huge. You know what else is... Oh, hang on. MJ, I'll jump back to my point in a second. Pre-show backs up. He gets a quick speed boost. Valkyrie onto Stukov there, who gets wrecked. But the charge in, a fantastic Void Prison means that Phoenix and Johanna are completely separate. Here comes the salvo, though a couple people still slowed as Bruiser is taken out.
And they also stole a turret from that Stukov. He couldn't even cast it. That's how surprised he was from that Valkyrie engage.
So what I was going to say is, you know what else is going to be fantastic this level 4? The auxiliary shields or the dampening shields. Either one would have been fantastic here. The spell armor against Zeratul would have been decent, and if not, auxiliary shield is going to allow Phoenix to continue that micro, using that extra movement speed to stutter against Zeratul and give him that little bit of extra survivability, which is going to synergize well with the armor from the white main, and that means that Phoenix is going to be much harder to kill now.
All right, last minute evacuation there by Phoenix. He realized, you know what, with Yeetskook on that Diablo being so close, I want to get the hell out of here. And same, of course, was true for Thrall as well. But they used this moment, they used this intel that they just gathered with A-Team just grouping up in the bottom half of the map, and they steal away that healing pulse once again. Super solid. Now, How much have they actually been channeling this protected platform? 30%. It's going to channel right now as well. Phoenix already on it.
Phoenix needs to move though, because Zeratul is going to come in and try and get him in an isolated kill. But look at this, the stutter step, giving him that shield, keeping him out of shield range here. As they turn around and Yitzcook is completely forced back, but now positioning is being taken. Caught in the stun. Zeratul goes for the kill and picks it up with ease.
Picks it up with ease, but they get one kill already against Stukapin. Again, no support left, no sustain for A-Team.
The bunker was used, a good 4-man Void Prison though, but it's got Blaze in it. He's got nowhere to go. It's just giving the rest of the team a chance to escape. Data's just like, please, it's safe in here, but the bunker goes down. And RPG, even keeping a hold of one of their turrets, are able to win the fight, and they will take this protector.
Just reminding me of a zombie apocalypse, you know, you just run into that house, you think you're safe, but the zombies are already crushing down the windows and the doors, and Blaze was nowhere safe.
Oh dear, the VP, they looked like they wanted to maybe capitalize on it. They maybe wanted to play. I'm really confused as to this lightning breath, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, it has not got the value yet, but that APOC on there might have saved Blaze, might have allowed a counter engage, but in this case, not going to happen.
It was just such a clutch team fight as well for the A-Team. They looked really strong there after that quick blow-up onto Phoenix, who was definitely overstaying his welcome. But then, once again, it is Stukov who was caught by that Valkyrie. Really seems to be the bane of his existence at this point. Here goes the Protector immediately. The support is hopping out. Good boy, MJ. I like that. Let Thrall get in there so we have a little bit of extra sustain during that push.
Smash onto Yitzcook. Protector continues to push in. Decent damage on Jaina, who actually stands on that explosive laser. You see Cassia just kiting and poking that Diablo over and over again. Phoenix now rotates up to the rest of the team. And Phoenix, the only reason he died there is because he was too close to the stun target of the Blaze. So Nasser got caught in as well. He was able to, when Zeratul was trying to 1v1 him like he has all game, absolutely sustain his way through in the last fight this time. But he was caught out and was taken out in the end. But now, look at his positioning. So safe. Doesn't want Zeratul to get near him without going through his teammates.
Yeah, Zeratul at this point realizes that Cassia is probably not the target he wants to go for because she's being pampered and babysitted all the time by Whiteman, rightfully so. So he keeps trying to stick towards that Phoenix. So all Pa needs to do right now is to really, keep his distance. 16 is here. Talons have been equalized. Although if you look at the minimap, guys, not a single structure has been destroyed for the A-Team. But here they go. They try to make something work against Thrall.
They're moving in. Johanna, though, is creating great disruption. Lightning Breath this time is pretty good. The bunker burning them down. Bruiser is coming in from the side. Aegis is used, and good teleport by Pari. Actually baits Bruiser. Bruiser pulls back into the try from his white mate as they take out Jada and Zeratul in quick succession.
It's an absolute massacre. I can understand what A-Team was trying to do here, using their time with that 16 now to make something happen. But they also have to realize that if they lose that team fight as hard as they did, that's going to be an open key, right? So you really want to choose your location, your terrain a little bit more diligently because otherwise you might actually suffer eternal or everlasting damage from it. And they're going to lose this keep now. That means Catapult in the bottom lane. And RPG, man, their protection, their peeling is just so good at the moment.
That it is. Out comes another pustule, putting on a little bit more pressure. And RPG, 2-level lead, getting closer to level 20, halfway through level 18. There's a healing pulse available. They're going to be able to pick up that support camp. Zeratul, he dodged the void. He actually dodged the blessed shield, so that was pretty good. But look at this. Pa, able to get a fantastic salvo, just wrecking everyone. Gets dropped down low, and the second Zeratul is spotted on the map, immediately baits him. Zeratul could have chased him down, but he's needed for the fight. He still has VP. But he then just gets closed in by Pa, who was returning with now a shield, and he got baited hard.
Man, and once again, we got to commend MJ as well. He had those Scarlet Aegis targets on lock. It healed and shielded exactly who it needed to get right. So Phoenix, not only was he able to dodge Zeratul, as you said, but he also benefited heavily from this 40 armor buff. RPG in a commanding lead, 2-level lead at this point. They even got the bottom keep, so that's a winning condition right now. Whenever they win a team fight near the middle, near the bottom, they can immediately storm the core. So, what can A-Team do, Tetcher? They can only look for another fight, I feel like. If they wait for 20, if they let this next Protector go through, I think it might already be game over.
It might be. Like you said, it's in a keep lane, or a lane without a keep, sorry. So, they do get caught. Might be in trouble. Speaking of getting caught, Bruiser is being sneaky there. Some retreat pings. They might realize it. Is anyone going to check? Because they might just be able to kill him. If they find him there, they could just kill him. But no one even bothers to look. Zeratul just leaves the area. He saw a load of people go past. He knows it's time to move.
Time to move. Free Show playing a risky game, almost getting engaged upon by the front line of the A team. With those engaging abilities on Kura, now it might be the time for RPG to strike back. But unfortunately, they were too separated, too isolated at the moment. Ooh, Free Show on that throw needs to get out to safety immediately. Has that healing pulse as well. Nice cleanse from Whitemane.
The counter route from Whitemane as well. Earthquake comes out. Salvo murders Stugos, who just gets in the bunker, but he's being chased down. Out comes Olele from the bunker. He's already dead. Parag teleporting aggressively. How do you like it, Bruiser, who gets taken out? Jada in full retreat, able to escape for now, but forget the Protector. There's a quarter kill.
Ding dong, catapults on the core already delivering the initial damage that RPG needs. They're taking down the shields already, 78%. That is going to be a piece of cake for RPG to win game number 2 and walk away with juicy 3 points here. Also bringing in 3 points distance between themselves and the A team. That was an important match for them, and they won it in style.
Nicely done by RPG, taking the 2-0, full 3 points, moving up to 7. And that is a big deal for them, moving up the table. And God, RPG looks so much stronger than they did last season.
Man, I have the feeling that this is not even the final form of them yet. Every game they play, they look stronger. The more synergy this team builds up, the more they're going to actually be able to achieve.